An FA Cup final was the 130th in the history of the world's oldest cup competition and saw a coming together of Manchester City and final debutant Stoke. For Roberto Mancini and City, it was a chance to really put themselves on the footballing map following the club's takeover in 2008. City still looking for their first piece of silverware in 35 years. Tony Pulis' Stoke were certainly the underdogs, but had earned a pretty tough reputation since entering the Premier League some 3 years before.
Manchester City's main conundrum today, whether to start Carlos Tevez. In truth, there was never too much doubt. More of a surprise is the inclusion of Mario Balotelli, who's preferred to Adam Johnson. Kolarov gets the nod over Zabaleta at left-back. Gareth Barry's return to fitness means no place in the starting 11 at least for James Milner. So important to Matthew Etherington and Robert Hook to Stoke's cause that Tony Pulis left it until the team arrived at Wembley before deciding to play them both. It is a risk, but one that Pulis believes is worth taking. The 130th FA Cup final, the last to be sponsored by E.ON, the first to involve one of England's grandest old clubs, Stoke City. And already, there they are raiding forward, with the effervescent Jonathan Walters. And as we've mentioned, a potential watershed moment for Manchester City.
I think there's so many interesting battles here. We know Tevez is not going to get much joy in the air against Shawcross and Hoot. And then you look at the midfield, well balanced. Kenwyne Jones will cause problems with Lescott and company, who's in terrific form. So there's a blatant challenge on. That's what Wilkinson does like to get involved. We've got to say that. He blocked Kolarov off there, but referee, play on. Tony Pulis will not be happy so far.
Vassal Company. Hit Balotelli and ran nicely for Carlos Tevez. And Tevez brings a good save. Thomas Sorensen flying to his left.
It was a good save. It's a good effort. Tevez, one thing in his main when he picked it up, a good save, pushes it well away from the danger area.
Off goes Balotelli. Kolarov. Awkward, but dealt with on the half volley by Hoot. Balotelli, Shawcross in the way, Gareth Barry.
Oh, that was a terrific cross by Kolarov. Hoot does really, really well to clear it. That was a brilliant cross.
Kolarov, Glenn Whelan's header. Nigel de Jong. Barry. David Silva. Here's de Jong. A touch and a drive. And the drive of a man who doesn't score often.
Well, I've got to say, John, just coming up to 9 minutes, and Manchester City are totally in control. They've settled from the kick-off. They're passing the ball around. Stoke have forgot to play football. They've turned up. They're all pointing the finger at each other. And he has a chance to get de Jong. Good closing down. Goes high. I think it's Shawcross who tells him to get up and close him down. But you've got to say, Stoke haven't turned up yet.
Micah Richards. Silva. Kolarov. Devil of a ball in. She's deflected into the side netting by the outstretched leg of Shawcross.
Well, just as well the captain got there. Again, Kolarov. He's really pushed Pennant back. We haven't saw anything of Pennant on the ball. And this is a great delivery. Pace that could easily have gone off his corner of his foot into the net.
Another Kolarov corner. Silva, Kolarov. Nigel de Jong. Yaya Toure!
Well, this is just all Manchester City. They're absolutely playing fantastic football, movement. Every one of them wants a touch of the ball, and this is a terrific strike.
Kolarov, Balotelli, and Yaya Toure making inroads, and Balotelli's going to require some treatment. Do you see what happened?
No, I didn't know. Here we go now. It's Hoot.
Oh, it's his, isn't it?
That's bad. That is deliberate. They may keep him quiet for a while, but there's no need for that in the game, and he's been a lucky man, Robert Hoot. You can't get away with that. That's deliberate.
Wilson. Delat. Toure. Through the middle goes Carlos Tevez. Sorensen was a little late to react. Did get a paw on it. Balotelli. And Robert Hoot intervening. Walters. Wilkinson.
He has a chance. It was a wonderful ball by Yaya Toure. Sorensen did, as you say, Johnny, did delay, but I think it's good goalkeeping. He wasn't going to commit himself until he got his hand on the ball there. He did the right thing.
Pennant. First goal so important, in particular in an FA Cup final. Side that has scored first in 12 of the last 13 finals has gone on to lift the trophy. And here's silver for Manchester City. Yaya Toure. Brushing off Pennant. Now Balotelli. And he tries one! And Sorensen got a crucial touch.
Well, that was wonderful play. Silva, Yaya Toure linking up, and Balotelli inside the foot. I thought that was in. What a save by Sorensen. Fingertips with the left hand. I honestly thought that was the opening goal. What a save.
Walters. Appeals for hands there against Company. Kenwyne Jones seemed fairly convinced. Toure. Company. And Company tried to place the shot, and it lacked the power to squirm beyond Sorensen.
Well, one end they're looking for a penalty. Sorensen spills his effort, and that's where you need Tevez following in for the tap-in. This time it did come away from him. There's the shot. Company goes all the way up the field, picks it up here, and it's a decent effort. He hits it early. Sorensen slightly unsighted, but that's where you need a centre forward following in.
Richards. Balotelli. Barry. And Balotelli. Couldn't gather it in and control it.
I'm just surprised how Stoke haven't relaxed. We're well into the game now. City, great movement. Silva's coming in from the right. Very hard to pick up all these players.
Tevez. Away from Pennant. Balotelli nipping in, and Silva, what a chance, but he hit the ball down and into the ground rather than straight directly into the back of the net.
And that's why you have Tevez fit. What a great ball, great vision, cuts inside from a challenge from Pennant, and he picks out Balotelli, who's looked very sharp today. He can't get it down, and you'd fancy David Silva with the left foot he's got.
Another Manchester City free kick, progress by degrees.
I don't think City want the free kicks. I think they want to keep the ball moving, and it's not helping them.
Kolarov. Silva. Shawcross committed himself. Toure. Here comes Nigel de Jong.
That's why he's a defensive midfield player. Wonderful football again. Silva started on the right, look at him on the left, rolls it square. Toure, yeah, Toure, and he's trying to place it side-footed.
Stokes fans whistling because they want to hear Martin Atkinson's whistle. De Jong. Tevez. Micah Richards. Steered away by Hoot, and Martin Atkinson has seen enough. Thomas Sorensen pulled off one magnificent save. Manchester City have been the stronger side. They've created more. They've finished nothing though. And Stoke go off, issues to address, but crucially, they've not suffered in terms of the scoreline. And the half-time score in the 130th FA Cup final, sponsored by E.ON, is Manchester City 0, Stoke City 0. And it is Manchester City who get this second half underway. Attacking the end of the ground, occupied by the majority of their 25,000 plus supporters. Stoke have slightly more fans in the stadium, 27,500 thanks to a late extra allocation. And here's Gareth Barry finding Nigel de Jong. And de Jong trying to slip in Kolarov, who's come from deep.
Well, there's a classic example of what I was saying first half. Wonderful, wonderful football. Great run by Kolarov. Great ball, weighted pass. De Jong, he takes off there. Pennant fell asleep. He's one side. But now, where's the blue shirts in the box? He's got no option but to shoot. You've got to get in that box if you want to score goals.
Pennant limping on this near side as Wilkinson wins it and then is clattered, having passed the ball.
That's good refereeing. I think Tevez was slightly late on Wilkinson. It was a great tackle by Wilkinson to win it in the first place. I think there Tevez had a slight little kick out. There we go. There's one coming in from the side. Yaya Toure, is it?
That was naughty.
Yep, that was a bad challenge. There we go. Tevez there at first. There's the foul to start with. And that one, that could easily have been a yellow.
More bite to the game since the interval. And it's a better spectacle for us. Wilson. Lescott. Pennant. Must be very nervous at that angle. That's a silly foul to give away in that position. Balotelli.
There we go. Balotelli there. There's no need for it. He's not going anywhere. He's running towards the corner flag.
Hoot, Jones and Shawcross, the prime targets here. Etherington, left by Pennant, swing by Hoot, shot by Wilson, becomes a pass for Etherington, and he couldn't lay it back for Delap. Here's Pennant. He's done very well, Jermaine Pennant. Mark Wilson. Solidly defended by Richards. Not sure that the pass was altogether appreciated, but off goes Tevez at the other end. Silva's completely free in the middle. David Silva. And he dallied, and he waited. And Stoke partially clear. Barry. De Jong. Hit his own man, Tevez.
I've got to say, it's a very good, enjoyable second half, but David Silva, if he had a right foot, that could have been the opening goal.
Balotelli, we've got a cup final now. Here's Toure. And there's Tevez.
Tell you what, John, if Tevez lays it to Balotelli, who's coming in on a terrific run from Edge of the box.
Good tackle by Whelan. Etherington long for Jones. And Jones past Lescott. Kenwyne Jones! Foiled by the star jump from Joe Hart.
I tell you what, John, what are the two centre-halves doing? The ball watching, it's a terrific ball by Etherington. What is Lescott doing? Wrong side. And Joe Hart, who hasn't had anything to do really, that is a terrific save, very brave.
Johnson denied his first significant touch. Tevez, Richards. De Jong. Silva. Balotelli. Silva goes on, and Balotelli! And there's the goal from Yaya Toure. He decided the semi-final. He may have just won the cup for Manchester City. Celebrations right across the ages, from those who've been here before to those who have only dreamed of days like this. Prayers to the heavens to those now departed. Manchester City, 42 years since last they held the FA Cup aloft, and they lead at Wembley.
Well, it's a lovely bit of football. Balotelli involved, Silva, Balotelli again, and it comes out. And as you say, he got the goal against Manchester United in the semi. He's in there again. And it's a good strike with his left foot. Sorensen, no chance. Comes to him very quick. Few bodies around Sorensen, he can't really see it. Down the middle, left foot, a lot of power. Straight down the middle. Game on.
Tevez. Stoke supporters have found their voices once again. Kolarov. That's a corner.
Well, I don't think there'll be a mad rush for Manchester City to take this corner. Silva's over there, Tevez. 8 minutes left. Kolarov, who's done well against Penn. I think Penn's been a plus for Stoke, though. He's played how he can play. He's had every time he's got the ball, he's looked at to get at the full back. He's played very well with that bad ankle.
It's one for Carew to contest.
I think Mancini will be wanting Manchester City to keep the shape. Tevez going wide. Balotelli's walking all over. Silva's going too far forward. Just need to keep the shape, keep the ball.
Lescott. Balotelli with that now familiar pigeon-toed stride. Silva. And just as well for Stoke that Hoot was first on the scene.
That's where you need your striker. As he saves it, Adam Johnson's watching his shot instead of gambling on the run-in. He spills it again. It's a good effort by Silva through the legs of Shawcross. Spills it. Nobody there again.
Well, the FA Cup has given us so many stories this season. With the antics of FC United of Manchester, Crawley Town, Stevenage, Droylsden, Leyton Orient, all having their say along the way. But it's boiled down to this, and Manchester City are 2 minutes away from winning the trophy. But here's Whitehead for Stoke. Carew. Pennant. Kolarov did well not to dive in.
Well, you normally say Sorensen's going forward for this last corner, but you normally say they're going to get one chance. Was that it?
Or is this it? Substitution being made just to break things up by Manchester City. It is David Silva coming off.
He's played very well, David Silva. Very intelligent player. Great skills, balance, vision.
And Patrick Vieira, 3 times an FA Cup winner, comes on to try and see Manchester City home. And he passes a man in yellow who is the Stoke goalkeeper, Thomas Sorensen. All or nothing for the Potters. It's Pennant. It's going to come to Danny Pugh. Sorensen stays forward. It's beyond him. Hart comes. Doesn't get there. Jermaine Pennant. Still in play, and it's just guided away by Vieira.
This is what the FA Cup's all about, isn't it?
That the goalkeeper of one of the teams should be spending the last 2 minutes of the cup final in the opposition penalty area. All Tony Pulis can do is fold his arms and hope, whilst at the other end they pray. It's Pennant, it's all or nothing, it's Shawcross with the header, and that may well be the end of Stoke City.
Well, it's a decent delivery. You can see now the body language of the Stoke players, a lot of them. I think they realise, there's the goal again by Yaya Toure. Terrific straight, which decides this match with his left foot.
It seems that a man from the Ivory Coast, built like a basketball player, with a pile driver of a left-footed shot, has won the cup for Manchester City. Hart with the clearance. And Manchester City, the butt of so many a joke down the years, are winners again, a whole generation on. Yaya Toure with the decisive goal in the last quarter of an hour, leaving Stoke falling to their knees. Mancini wreathed in smiles, and a club with a beating heart back in the limelight, back on the winning trail, and surely the first of many trophies in this brave new era. Last time it was Tony Book, 42 years on, a world superstar from Buenos Aires, the first step on the intended road to world domination, as Carlos Tevez holds the FA Cup aloft for Manchester City.